Hollywood's golden age shimmered with glamour, but beneath the sequined gowns and ruby lips lurked women who didn't just captivate, they devastated. These weren't mere starlets, they were dangerous forces, driven by insatiable desires for sex, power, and control. They lured men into their webs, wrecked marriages, and manipulated moguls like chess pieces. Some crushed rival careers with a single rumor. Others left trails of scandal, heartbreak, and even blood. Their beauty was a blade, their appetites boundless, and their scandals so explosive that even Johnny Carson couldn't resist dissecting them on late-night TV. Their stories burn hotter, darker, and more forbidden than any screenplay. If you're new here, hit subscribe now, because we're unveiling the 9 most ruthless women in Hollywood history. Number 1, Hedda Hopper, the venomous scribe. If evil wore a crown in Hollywood, it was Hedda Hopper's extravagant feathered hat. As the Golden Age's most feared gossip columnist, Hopper didn't just report news, she obliterated lives. Her column, read by over 30 million, could reduce a rising star to a pariah with one vicious line. Johnny Carson once quipped, "Censors? Child's play." Hedda Hopper was Hollywood's true guillotine. Hopper thrived on malice. She invaded bedrooms, marriages, and secrets, not for truth but for dominance. Her pen was a poison-dipped dagger, targeting everyone from Charlie Chaplin to Orson Welles. She branded actors as communists, spread lies about affairs, and wielded the Red Scare like a personal vendetta. Ruining reputations wasn't a byproduct, it was her mission. Even friends weren't spared. Stars recalled her sipping champagne at parties, all smiles, only to see their darkest secrets in print by morning. Her columns didn't just wound, they ended careers. Insiders whispered she was more powerful than studios, no contract could shield you from her venom. To the public, she was a flamboyant gossip queen. To Hollywood, she was a terror, her legacy built on fear and destruction. As Carson warned, you might survive a scandal, but not Hedda Hopper's typewriter. Number 2, Hedy Lamarr, the siren of betrayal. Hedy Lamarr was beauty incarnate, hailed as Hollywood's most stunning woman, her gaze enough to hush a room. But behind those hypnotic eyes was a ruthless truth, her beauty was a weapon, and she wielded it with precision. Johnny Carson once mused, Hollywood had dangerous women, but none as lethal as those who smiled while plotting your ruin. Lamarr was that woman. She seduced producers, betrayed lovers, and clawed her way into power circles where one whisper could crush a rival. Her cruelty was subtle, surgical. Actresses spoke of her feigned friendships, all while she fed gossip to columnists. Men fell for her, only to emerge broken, their reputations and careers in ruins. Crossing Hedy Lamarr was a death sentence in Hollywood. What made her chilling was her ease, she'd laugh in a glittering gown. Charming co-stars, while calculating their downfall. Insiders whispered her beauty masked a heart of ice. Known today as an inventor and icon, Lamarr's darker legacy endures in Hollywood's shadows, a betrayer who destroyed with ruthless grace. For more scandalous secrets, subscribe now to catch every shocking reveal. Number 3, Tallulah Bankhead, the wicked enchantress. Tallulah Bankhead was a hurricane, unforgettable on Broadway and Hollywood screens. Magnetic and witty, she was larger than life, but offstage, she was a force of destruction cloaked in charm. Notorious for seducing anyone, men, women, producers, even rivals' lovers, she discarded them with a laugh sharper than any blade. She wasn't just scandalous, she was ruinous. Directors dreaded her temper, actresses feared her tongue, which could reduce stars to ashes. Johnny Carson once said Tallulah was the only guest who could insult him on live TV and still win the crowd. But behind the laughter was a woman who relished humiliation. Insiders whispered she delighted in others' pain, spreading rumors, exposing secrets at parties, and mocking co-stars publicly to assert dominance. Pain was her playground. Even friends felt the heat of her fire, thrilling, but certain to burn. Her seductive cruelty was her true danger, she'd draw you in with wit, then strike when you least expected. Some called her a genius, others, pure evil. Tallulah Bankhead's wickedness matched her talent, a legend as infamous as she was unforgettable. Number 4. Barbara Stanwyck, the steel-hearted star. Barbara Stanwyck was lauded as a Golden Age titan, but behind the accolades was a woman feared for her ruthless edge. On screen, she mastered the femme fatale in films like Double Indemnity. Off-screen, she was just as calculating. Stanwyck climbed Hollywood's ranks not just with talent but with a cold cunning that bordered on cruelty. Rivals recalled her smiling in meetings while quietly ensuring their roles were slashed. She didn't need gossip columns, she was her own executioner. Johnny Carson joked that Stanwyck's stare could make men confess their sins, and it wasn't far from the truth. Directors described her dominating sets, humiliating weaker co-stars until they cracked. To her, kindness was a flaw, and weakness had no place in Hollywood. Rumors swirled of her using relationships, romantic and political, to silence threats. She didn't just want to win, she wanted rivals to lose. To audiences, she was a star, to insiders, a storm. Stanwyck's legacy blends brilliance with brutality, proof that in Hollywood, success often demands someone else's fall. Number 5. Zsa Zsa Gabor, the vicious socialite. Zsa Zsa Gabor wasn't known for acting but for scandals, marriages, and venom. Her Hungarian accent and dazzling looks captivated, but those who got close saw her cruelty. Married 9 times, she treated husbands as stepping stones or toys, discarded when they no longer served her. Friends whispered she humiliated partners publicly, laughing at their weaknesses as if their pain was her sport. Johnny Carson quipped, "Zsa Zsa didn't marry men, she collected them like credit cards and maxed them out." Her cruelty extended beyond men. On sets and at parties, her sharp tongue sliced into women's looks, marriages, and careers, all cloaked in a faux innocent smile. To victims, it was no joke, it was public shaming by a master. Her 1989 arrest for slapping a police officer only solidified her image as a woman unbound by rules. To some, she was glamorous, to many, toxic. Zsa Zsa Gabor built her fame on scandal and wreckage, a reminder that Hollywood's evil sometimes sparkles with diamonds and pearls. Darling. Want more? Subscribe now. The next actress takes cruelty to new depths. Number 6. Jean Simmons, the angel with claws. Jean Simmons arrived in Hollywood as innocence personified, her delicate features and soft voice casting her as the sweet ingenue. But insiders told a darker tale. Beneath the angelic facade was a woman who mastered power plays. Directors loved her on screen, but behind the scenes, Simmons was ruthlessly ambitious. She charmed producers into rewriting scripts for her, then turned on co-stars with a coldness that stunned even veterans. Colleagues recalled her undermining rivals with a sweet smile, ensuring roles and contracts slipped into her hands. Johnny Carson called her heaven's face with a general's instincts, and he wasn't wrong. On his show, she sparkled with wit, but off-stage, she was feared. She had a knack for exploiting weaknesses, actresses, lovers, anyone, and wielded them with precision. Her turbulent marriages faced accusations of manipulation and emotional cruelty. Simmons didn't just leave men, she dismantled them, walking away without remorse. Her saintly image hid a predator in silk. In Hollywood, evil didn't always shout, it could whisper and smile like Jean Simmons. Number 7. Bette Davis, the Empress of Malice. Bette Davis was Hollywood's queen of cruelty, her piercing eyes and sharp tongue as legendary as her talent. On screen, she played ruthless women with chilling ease, off-screen, she lived them. Her feud with Joan Crawford wasn't just rivalry, it was warfare. Davis spread rumors, mocked Crawford's appearance, and sabotaged her opportunities, relishing her rival's pain. Insiders said Davis thrived on humiliation, turning Hollywood into her battlefield. Johnny Carson joked, "Bet didn't need scripts, just enemies." On his show, her wit cut so deep it left guests reeling, yet audiences loved it. Directors weren't spared, she'd shred scripts or co-stars with words that lingered like scars. In relationships, she belittled lovers, emasculating them publicly with venomous glee. To Davis, cruelty was dominance, not a flaw. Friends admitted she had no mercy. Hollywood called her a legend, those close to her whispered she was venom incarnate. Bette Davis's legacy is brilliance laced with terror, her words still chilling decades later. Number 8, Jean Harlow, the seductive destroyer. Jean Harlow, the platinum blonde, was more than a sex symbol, she was chaos in satin. Her bleached hair, sly smile, and sultry eyes sparked scandals everywhere. Men worshipped her, women feared her. Behind her playful laugh was a cruel streak that ruined those who got too close. Harlow seduced producers and married men, discarding them like empty bottles. Rivals whispered she delighted in watching women crumble after she stole their lovers. Co-stars called her charming on set but merciless off it, feeding gossip to columnists and mocking insecurities with a smile. Johnny Carson quipped, Jean Harlow could ruin a man's life with a wink. Men who chased her lost marriages, fortunes, and reputations, yet she never apologized, just moved to the next conquest. Her cruelty was subtle, devastating, a dagger hidden in silk. She didn't need to shout to destroy, a whispered yes sparked another scandal. To the world, she was the blonde bombshell. To Hollywood,